Oh boy, it's Reanimated. For those who don't know this movie, it was created during what I call the Stu Snyder era. And for those who don't know what that is, I'll give you a quick rundown. The Aqua Teen Hunger Force marketing team put light brights in many major cities across the US. Boston, being one of them, thought it was a bomb. Cartoon Network gave Boston $2 million. The team responsible for the light brights handled it.
What we really want to talk about today, it's kind of important to some people. It's kind of important to some people. It's haircuts in the 70s.
Well, and this led for that current Cartoon Network CEO to step down, and good old Stu took his place. So yeah, cartoons ended and new live-action shows began. Like The Othersiders, you know, where the kids are visiting haunted places. Remember that?
New on Cartoon Network.
We're doing a legitimate investigation. There's 150 spirits known to haunt the area.
So this could be a really great place for us.
This is real. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Is anybody here? Can you show us a sign?
Did you hear that?
Something just hit my shoulder.
What was it?
Right there.
It's there right now?
The Othersiders. New episode, Wednesday night at 8, only on Cartoon Network.
Well, it only had 23 episodes and wasn't given a second season, so it was basically a success. Really, the only thing great about it is its IMDb description. So yeah, it really wasn't a great time for Cartoon Network. Stu, why are you ruining Cartoon Network?
Because I've lost control of my life.
In all honesty, he wasn't the cause of all the problems, but if we don't go after him as a scapegoat, then we would all probably go after some minority, I don't know. But back to Reanimated. This is one of the strangest movies I have ever seen, and I've seen some strange things. Here, let me tell you the plot. A kid named Jimmy is always being used by his friends, family, and just everybody.
What's your problem? I don't know, it's just everyone's taking advantage of me. Oh, really? That's terrible. Hey, let me copy your homework.
But all Jimmy wants is to be popular and date an Asian chick. Yeah, I've been there. But one day, Jimmy and his classmates go to the Disney World knockoff Dolly World. There he gets hit by a slow-moving train and is carried to the amusement park hospital, where the mascots of the park perform a brain transplant and give Jimmy the brain of the park founder / Walt Disney knockoff Milt Appleday, played by Fred Willard. But luckily they were able to keep Jimmy's personality and memories, but Jimmy can now see the cartoons that Milt Appleday created. However, Milt's son, Sonny Appleday, wants his father's brain, so he tries to find ways to kill Jimmy and take his brain. I don't know what drugs these writers were on, but I seriously want some. The plot really isn't nearly as strange as some of these jokes. In many scenes, you'll see some random animal accompanied by this kid, but it is never explained why there is an animal, and why he is with this kid. Unless you listen to the commentary, you would never know the character's name is Animal Loving Kevin. In fact, there are a lot of characters who were just never explained. Like this one kid who walks around with no shoes, and you don't really know while watching the movie why he has no shoes on. Unless you listen to the commentary and you find out that he's Stinky Feet Pete. You wouldn't know any of this unless you listen to the commentary. My personal favorite is Becky, mainly because of the joke they explained in the commentary.
And the girl next to Robin, wearing the shirt that says hot stuff, she's Becky. And if you pay attention to her throughout the movie, she wears a different t-shirt every time.
Jeez, where did they find these guys? I'm like one of 6 people on Earth that actually listen to the commentaries on DVDs, so how would anyone know what's going on in these scenes? Well, it is explained that they had scenes prepared to introduce and explain these scenes and characters, but they were removed. But why still have these jokes if it won't make any sense? Why still have a close-up of a llama? I think the writers relied on randomness, which we all know is the most superior form of comedy. Well, there are some good jokes.
Is that why there's 2 of you?
What are you talking about? Dolly's a girl. We look nothing alike.
She's got a bow. That's how I can tell.
But for every decent joke, there are 5 scenes that make you want to cringe.
Robin, I thought you had dance class. I mean, not that I've memorized your schedule or anything.
It got moved to Mondays.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I don't have a calendar to note it. I mean, you can check my pants.
You know, these writers actually went off to do some good stuff, like Adventure Time, Box Trolls, and even Gravity Falls. Good on them for improving. I can't believe I haven't talked about the other characters yet. Well, there's Jimmy's mom, who is an astronaut.
The fuck?
I think they were going for the overworked mom trope, but that's been done to death, and this is just weird and confusing. There is also Jimmy's dad. He is the school counselor and is embarrassing to Jimmy while simultaneously being oblivious to everything and eating sugar. To be fair, out of all the actors, he seems to be having the most fun, and I genuinely enjoy most of his scenes.
Hi, Jimmy. It's me, Robin. Ooh, I wish I had a big, strong man that I could go on the tilt-a-whirl with. How about a kiss? Mwah! Mwah!
That's disturbing.
Most of. Not all. Then there's Jimmy's adopted sister. When I first saw her, I was so blown away by the makeup it took me about 10 minutes to realize it was even a woman. In all seriousness, why make her an alien? She hardly uses any alien powers, and she really doesn't need to be an alien. It's probably some attempt to make her an interesting character, that or the writers were really that high. I say it's the latter. Then there's the villain, Sonny Appleday. He wants his father's brain so he can have the studio because Jimmy, with bootleg Walt Disney's brain, runs the studio. Sonny is an oddball who talks to moneybags, makes inventions, and he ends up renting a room at Jimmy's house while shouting his plan to remove his brain so loud that everyone can hear. In fact, this is how it all began. It was originally about a supervillain renting a room with a normal family. That's actually not a bad idea. Kind of like Dexter's Lab meets Pinky and the Brain. But then everything evolved into this. According to Charles Darwin, evolution is when a species improves itself, yet this movie got worse. So I guess we can all assume that evolution is bullshit. Sonny is also in the DVD extras, mainly in the DVD menu Easter eggs.
Congratulations, you just found an Easter egg. Well, this is awkward.
You can tell they turned on the camera and told this guy to do something because this is about as entertaining as a block of wood.
You have found another Easter egg. I'm okay. I'm alright.
There's also Jimmy's friend and her sister, who is the love interest. They were about as interesting as this video, which is why I'm not really talking about it.
Hiya, kids. I'm Milt Appleday, the greatest man who ever lived.
And I cannot forget about Milt Appleday, played by Fred Willard. Even though his name is on the DVD case, he is only in the movie for 31 seconds. I am not even kidding. You can tell some producer really wanted to milk this movie. Now what about the cartoon characters Jimmy sees, you might not be asking? Well, let me tell you. There is Porcupine and Pickle, who are silent and do nothing but try to kill each other. I feel bad for the Pickle, to be honest. I merely see him getting tortured. The poor thing is getting lobotomized. There's also Croco, played by Brian Posehn, who is just some stupid crocodile. Then there is Tux, played by Tom Kenny. He is supposed to do stand-up and tell you jokes that you can only find in a $3 joke book. I get it, he is supposed to be annoying. Can you ease up on the amount of times he says zing?
Zing! Zing! Always zing! Zing!
I also have some suspicion that there is something more to his character. Just look at how he reacts to a child hugging him. But that is something I can't look into because I don't have the time or the money. There is also Dolly Gopher, played by Ellen Green. She is just an emotional character, I think. It's kind of unclear since the only time she shows any personality is when she is crying. Then finally, there is Golly Gopher, played by Paul Rubin. Golly is basically a parody of Mickey Mouse, being one of the most famous cartoon characters in the show's universe. However, Golly is just a smug jerk, who does some nice things while having the same goddamn expression. I wonder if the guys who made Control-Alt-Delete animated him because he has the same expression half the time. What's strange is that the animated characters are just bland. Yeah, the human characters are ridiculous, but at least they're unique. Like, I get they're each a parody of something. Golly and Dolly parody Mickey and Minnie. Tux is the forced comedy relief. Croco is a parody of every stupid character because, let's face it, every animated show has a really stupid character. like Patrick, Homer, Zeus, and many more. Porcupine and Pickle parody Tom and Jerry. But if you're going with these tropes, then why not go all out? Or at least make them interesting. In fact, why even make them parodies and tropes? Cartoon Network owns many good characters. Hell, they own characters from Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera, DC, and even characters from their own original shows. Wouldn't it be cool to see Ed, Edd and Eddy, the Flintstones, and Bugs Bunny instead of these guys? This movie is bad, but it's not god-awful. It's a 2 out of 10. Might be fun if you're hammered with friends. Too bad I don't have any. There was also a show that came out shortly after this movie, but I'll tell you all about that next time.